The next poem I have for you, I call it Ballad for Frederick Douglass. Frederick Augustus Washington Bailey was born in February 1818 in Talbot County on the eastern shore of Maryland's Chesapeake Bay. Most people know him as Frederick Douglass. He was the son of a slave woman and probably her white master. At the age of 20, Frederick made his escape from Baltimore to New York with the financial help of his fiancée, Anna Murray, by disguising himself as a sailor. Anna later joined him in New York, and they were married. For greater safety, they took some good advice and went further north to New Bedford, Massachusetts, and stayed with Nathan Johnson, an abolitionist. Johnson suggested that Frederick change his last name in order to hide from slave hunters. Douglass later explained, "I gave Mr. Johnson the privilege of choosing my name, but told him he must not take from me the name of Frederick. I must hold on to that to preserve a sense of my identity." To replace Bailey, Johnson chose the name Douglass with one S, from James of Douglas, a nobleman who was a character in Sir Walter Scott's long romantic poem, The Lady of the Lake. Frederick later added the S to his name. What really sparked my imagination was how to convey Douglass's search for the answer to his troubling question: what made this man the master and I the slave? This is a story I want to tell. Born a slave, owned by another, white my father, black my mother. A poor woman I hardly knew, the times I saw her were far too few. Here today, gone today, nothing to do, nothing to say. Family members sent away, such was the life of a slave. A day's toil done, she walked 12 miles to and fro that darkly road, just to gaze upon my face and soothe me to the land of Nod. Alas, she sickened, then she died. Forbidden to see her, I might have cried if we had lived as family, my mother, 2 sisters, 1 brother, and me. Such was the life of a slave. My master's brother needed help. I was 8, and I was sent. Scrubbed a new outfit, I stood at the door, this my new home in Baltimore. The kindly mistress smiled at me, a sight I never thought I'd see. Over time, while at her side, she taught me letters one by one. Then simple words when this was done, 3 and 4 letters long. When our sessions were found out, Master all began to shout, "You mustn't teach a nig to read. Learning spoils the best for sure. Just enough to do his job. That is all he needs to know. Your actions are against the law. If this be known, to jail you'll go." Such was the life of a slave. My greatest lesson I received, though Master all could never guess. He taught me why he was in charge. To read and write were golden keys, and that began my earnest quest. I then knew what would set me free. I mastered words, and ever since, that made all the difference. No longer to be a slave. Douglass often said, "Knowledge is the pathway from slavery to freedom." In his lifetime, he became a social reformer, abolitionist, orator, writer, and statesman. He married twice and had children by his first wife, Anna. He had 2 residences in D.C., His last home is in Anacostia, southeast DC, called Cedar Hill, and is maintained by the National Park Service. It is open to the public for tours, and I encourage you to visit it.